And now on our cover story. You wouldn't think country, step dancing, and rap have anything in common until you met the Bruce family. Ross Bruce's father, Merrill Bruce, was a famous step dancer who was part of Hank Snow's early shows. And his son, J-Bru, is one of the busiest rap artists in Canada. Here's Barb Anderson with more.
J-Bru at his home studio in Spryfield, doing what he loves to do best. Next, his musical chops, honestly, going right back to his grandfather, Merrill Bruce, who danced with Hank Snow before Hank hit the road to Nashville.
My father actually, I would say, was probably self-taught. I know it was just a gift that he had within him.
Ross Bruce inherited his father's gift, a gift that was to be passed on to the third generation.
We had a little shed, and I would practice in the shed. And he said to me, well, you're not really interested in dancing? I said, yes, I am. And what I did is we had a dancing contest with my brothers in my hometown, in our home, and I won the dancing contest, and he never knew that I had that much talent, or so-called that, to do what I did, and I won the contest. And after that, wherever I went, I was with him. It's a form of tap, but it's more of using all your feet. Now tap is a lot with probably just dancing on your toes a lot. On your toes, on the tip of your toes, where step dancing is more like your whole foot. It's the back of your foot and your toes, and you do a lot of it on your toes, but your heels are involved.
Ross danced with his father, Merrill Bruce, for many years. He eventually formed a soul group, the Valiants, and was a professional featherweight boxer. A talent for basketball sent son Jason to university on an athletic scholarship. He began taking his musical career seriously while sidelined with an injury and hooked up with Halifax's Classified.
Five times across Canada. Not sure the exact number of shows now, but I know about 3 years ago I was, besides Classified, I was the second busiest artist as far as hip-hop goes for touring. I had done the most shows in Canada, so I stay busy and stay at it.
Perfect verbal architecture. Make a whack rapper mad. I'ma keep it gully hard as it gets. Don't be offended by the screw that gets back and cocky with a vengeance. Words can't explain why I'm cocky.
I don't really want the big fat contract. I've been doing it too long, and I know the business side enough that I can't get lured by that. And I know in Canada, as far as hip hop goes, it's really my buddy Classified there. He's probably as big as you can get as far as Canadian hip hop artists go. So, I strive to be where he is, or, I strive to do what he's done. And having him as one of my best friends helps me stay motivated.
So the Bruce beat goes on.
I think the music is in the family and has been for, I would say, generations. So, and I think deep down inside, he would love to get into the old music, because he'll listen to a lot of when he was younger. We'd be driving to some sport function. He played a lot of basketball, and I coached, and we travel. I'd put on some of the old music, and he would just sit back and say, "Dad, where'd you get that at?" And that beat, and a lot of the music that he does has the old beats into it.
I learned a lot from him. As far as the hip hop music, I don't know how much he knows about that, but I grew up listening to music, and when I was a kid, Dad was always playing music, and I pretty much, my whole life was music. So I got that inspiration as a young kid, and you can kind of hear that in my music. I reference a lot of older songs, and I sample a lot of older songs.
J-Bru never met his grandfather, Merrill Bruce, but he thinks he would be proud.
I think he would like it. I don't know about the cussing, but, he was a little bit old school from what I understand, so, but I think he'd enjoy to watch me perform.
He would love it, and to know that somebody in the family is continuing on, and I think just to keep his legacy alive is something that he'd be so proud of.
With his 2007 release, Identity Crises, winning acclaim, J-Bru is looking forward to this year's ECMA nominations. And Ross Bruce is applying, once again, to the Nova Scotia Country Music Hall of Fame on behalf of his father, Merrill Bruce. In Spryfield, I'm Barb Anderson for Eastlink Magazine.
The puck stops with Cody Blois of the Cole Harbour McCains. That's next on Eastlink Magazine.